Welcome in, everybody. Welcome back to your practice. If you're just tuning in, my name is Britt Abundant. I am a Los Angeles based yoga student and teacher, and I'm really excited that you're here. So, we're going to get started with my very favorite practice right now, called Slow Flow. So, it's just slower, more nourishing shapes, hopefully helping you to feel a little bit more restored in your body. But you could really do this whenever you need it. So, I hope it just feels kind of like a exhale, release. And so what we're going to use today are 2 blocks, if you have them, and a bolster. And so these are kind of like my love language setup of props. And then, of course, we've got Jade, who is always going to just be in the mix with us. And so if you don't have those props, it's going to be all right. But I would suggest, if we're going to be practicing together, to get those props. They just make the practice feel more supportive, I think, and also more accessible. Often when I teach this class IRL, I'll ask students, how are they doing, right? How's your body, how's your heart, how's your spirit? And often what comes up are tight legs, hamstrings, low back stuff, and shoulder and chest pain or tightness, or just like wanting to open up. So we're going to focus on those hot spots today. And as you feel ready, you're just going to make your way all the way down onto your back. And if you do have the props, we'll set up into a supported Shavasana. So place the bolster at the back of your mat. That's just going to be a little pillow for your head. And then lower yourself all the way down onto your back. And if you have the blocks, we'll slide the blocks underneath the thighs. So I really like this setup of having the blocks underneath the thighs, kind of at a diagonal tilt. And this kind of helps to boundary our legs so that our hips are not splayed out, our legs are not splayed out. And then once you get yourself set here, you're welcome to just let your arms fall intuitively. And so it might be hands coming onto your body somewhere, maybe arms reaching out by your sides. And always I like to start practice with the gentle encouragement to close your eyes. Of course, if it doesn't feel comfortable or safe in your body, you're welcome to keep your eyes open, maybe just softening through your gaze, trying not to look too intently outward at anything. But with eyes closed, you can really start to turn your attention more deeply into your physical body. And just starting to notice your inner landscape. And for these first few moments, just notice what it feels like to be in a breathing body. What are the sensations as the breath moves in? Maybe feeling the air as it starts to swirl around your nostrils. And feeling the breath as it pulls down into the chest, lifts up into the belly. And then stay with the sensation for the exhale. And a couple more breaths just like that. Nice and slow, breathing all the way in, filling up the lungs, the belly. And exhaling all the way out. And as you're arriving here, your mind might be doing a lot. That's totally normal. It's okay. And our practice really is not to quiet the mind, but rather to just notice it. Notice all of the times that our mind wanders and our thoughts take us somewhere outside of this present moment that we're in. And so a really good practice of being in the present is this movement practice, right? The asana is really the movement part of the yoga practice. And it helps us to stay present by anchoring us into our body, feeling sensations in the body, feeling breath. And ultimately, we practice this because the body can't be in the past or the future like the mind can. And as you're arriving here, notice if there's anywhere that your body is holding on to tension. And try to let your legs get a little heavier down into the mat or the blocks. Feel heavy through the back of your spine. And really sink down through the back of your head, either into the mat or the cushion beneath you. And friends, if you just need a safe, cozy place to rest and breathe, this is an excellent place, an excellent opportunity for that. And so just know throughout this practice, you're welcome to just stay here in stillness. And if you are ready to invite a little movement in, gently bring your hands down to the blocks if they're there. And just place the blocks off to either side of you. And then hug your knees into your chest. Hopefully you don't have a cat on your belly like I do. And with a hand on each knee, just start to pull your knees in big circles. And drawing them in opposite directions. And just starting to explore how your hips feel. And take your time, gently switch out the direction of those circles. And as you come back up through the center, just lift both legs straight up into the air and start to roll your ankles around in circles. And go both directions. And as you're finding these little circles, just notice if your face is tense. If there's a holding through your jaw, a little clenching through your brow, and just try to smooth that out with your breath. And from here, we'll interlace the hands behind the right thigh, and then flex through both feet, and just gently lower your left leg down to a hover. With the interlace of your right hand, pull your right thigh a little closer to your chest, just opening up through the right hamstrings. Notice if you're holding your breath. Take a big breath in. Big exhale. Lower your left heel all the way down so the left leg is heavy, you're not hovering it. And then bend your right knee and move the interlace of your hands onto your right shin. And from here, start to pull your right knee down towards your right side body. You might stay here with stillness, or maybe there's some little circles. Maybe you reach your hand for the outer edge of your right foot or your ankle and start to explore a little half happy baby. Maybe there's extension through this right leg, just inviting really gentle sensation in. And Jade's not going to like where we're headed since she's very happily placed on my chest right now. But take a breath in. And with your exhale, drape your right leg all the way over to the left. If you've got a block on that left side, encouragement to use it. I like to prop the block up onto its very highest setting and then just place it underneath your right leg somewhere. So the placement that feels the most natural for me is kind of the meaty part of my calf, but you might like it underneath your knee, maybe up higher on your thigh. And as you get yourself set here, extend your right arm out like a T by your side. Notice as you came into this twisted shape, if the quality of your breath changed. We want to stay with those really high quality breaths, moving air all the way into the belly. And each exhale, fully clearing out. And again, notice if your mind has wandered off. And it's totally okay. Your mind is just doing what it's been designed to do. But as you notice that, you start to reawaken, re-arrive into the present moment that you're in. And just gently bring the attention back onto the breath, feeling as the breath moves in, and breath moves out. And just take one more cycle of breath in and out. And as you're ready, gently guide your right knee back into your chest. Come back onto your spine, both hips down. And we'll pull the left knee in to meet it. And from here, wrap both arms around your shins and just pull yourself into a little hug. And really be with the sensation. What is it like to feel held? What's it like to be wrapped in your own embrace? And take your time. We're not in a rush. Lift both legs back up towards the sky. And this time we'll interlace the hands behind the left thigh. Take a breath in. And exhale, slowly lower your right leg down to a hover. And just start to feel the weight of your right leg. Our legs are heavy. And pull your belly button down towards your spine so your core is helping to stabilize that weight. And then pull your left leg a little closer to your chest. And take a breath in. Big exhale. Set your right leg all the way down. And then bend your left knee. Move your hands onto the top of your left shin. And pull your left knee down towards your left side body. This side could feel really different. That's something I say a lot when I teach. But it's nice to be reminded often. Sometimes our brains, when they know where they're headed, they just get a little bit lazy, right? They just do the thing that they're used to doing. But this side might need something else, something different from that previous side. So you might stay in stillness. Maybe there's a little movement, just kind of working this left hip. Maybe you find a half happy baby reaching the left outer foot or a left ankle. Explore extension through the left leg. And take a breath in. Exhale, supine twist. Drape your left leg over to the right. If you've got a block, just take extra good care to set that up. And then tee out both of your arms. Let the left shoulder stay nice and heavy. And with your eyes closed or soft, just start to scan through your physical body, looking for anywhere that feels like it's holding tension or it's holding you in. It's kind of bracing the shape. And with your exhales, just try to soften all of that. Let your body get really heavy, really melty down into this shape. And invite your mind back into this moment. If it started to travel elsewhere, breathe in. Big exhale, release. Guide your left knee back into your chest. Pull your right knee in to meet it. Give yourself another big squeeze. And then just start to sway really gently side to side. And come back in through the center. Bring your hands behind your thighs and just roll yourself up into a seat. And we'll take a moment to get ourselves organized if we are working with props. Bring your blocks up to the top corners of your mat and just slide your bolster off behind you for now. And from here, you'll roll over your knees and set yourself up for tabletop. And then the tabletop, a good measure for your hands is to swivel your hands inward and then walk your middle fingers in towards one another, and then plug down through the heel of your hand and just swivel your fingers forward. The index finger, at least in my body, I like that to point straight forward. And try to stack your shoulders right on top of your wrists, hips on top of your knees, so you feel really well packaged here. And pull up through your belly button. So that's a place that we can kind of spill our energy out. Pulling up, kind of calling that back into ourselves. And plug down through your finger pads, start to round your spine. So you're turning your gaze up towards your belly button. And imagine pushing your shin bones down into the mat. Anatomically, that probably doesn't happen. They don't touch. It's just feeling that energy kind of helping us with that push sensation. And take a breath in. Exhale, cow. Drop your belly. Turn your gaze all the way up to the sky. 2 more times like that. Inhale, cat. Exhale, cow. Last one, inhale. Big exhale, release. Tuck your toes. Push your hips up, down dog. With this shape, I want you to keep your heels lifted and bend your knees. And this is going to help us to keep the hamstrings open, to keep the spine nice and long. And from here, you're welcome to start pedaling out through your legs, so kind of straightening and then bending. And just like we found in that cat pose, keep pushing down through your finger pads. Kind of feel your shoulder blades pulling together on your back. We'll land back in stillness. Lift up high to your tippy toes. Keep pushing down through your finger pads. Slide yourself forward like a wave into plank. In the plank, push your heels towards the back wall. Keep pulling up through your belly button. Call your energy back. Breathe in. Big exhale. Drop your knees down. Round your spine, cat pose. And take a breath in. Exhale, cow. Drop your belly. Stay just like this. Bend your elbows. Lower down to your chest and your chin. You've never done this before. It's weird, I understand. But the shape is called Ashtanga Namaskara. It's the 8 limbs pose. It really just reminds us that this practice is so much more than movement. And gently untuck your toes. Slide onto your belly. As we come into our cobra pose, keep it really small. Gaze down at your mat rather than forward. And imagine pulling the crown of your head more forward so your neck is getting longer. And keep plugging down through the tops of your feet so you feel your legs get really active. And take a belly breath in. Exhale, roll down. 2 more like that. Inhale, lift. Exhale, roll down. And just 1 more. Inhale, lift up. From here, keep pushing down through the tops of your feet. Hover your hands. Walk your hands off onto the floor next to your mat. Push down into your finger pads. Lift up through your heart space. Exhale, dip your left shoulder. Gaze to the right. Inhale, lift up through the center. Exhale, dip right shoulder. Gaze left. And just 1 more like that each side. Inhale, lift up through the center. Exhale, dip your left shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, dip right. Inhale, back up through the center. Lift up just a little higher. Exhale, lower down. Walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. Press your forehead down onto the mat. Just bend your knees. Sway your feet side to side. And we'll come back through the center. Drop your feet down. And slide yourself all the way back to child's pose. So this shape, we keep the hands where they are. Draw the big toes together to touch. And pull your hips down towards your heels. This shape, at least to me, it's kind of like a humble bow of devotion. And so just notice what it feels like to have your forehead touching earth. Let this be a bow of gratitude to your body, to your breath, to your practice. And from here, we'll take this into a grounded thread the needle. So somebody on Instagram called this rolling panda, and I just thought that was very cute. So we'll be little rolling pandas. Pull your left elbow towards your left knee. Then slide the top of your left hand underneath your chest. You'll come to rest on your left temple. Notice if there's any holding in your upper half. With each exhale, just try to let yourself sink a little bit heavier into this, feeling all those little muscle fibers outside of your left shoulder opening up. And from here, push down through your right hand. Start to lift your hips. Reach your left arm all the way up to the sky. You can twirl your wrist around, make little circles. And eventually we'll stretch the left hand towards the back wall and then land in a tabletop with your left fingers pointing to the back. If this is a lot on your left inner forearm, you could turn your fingers out to the left side. I'll make it a little bit more gentle. And then wherever you are, just start to make some circles around your wrists. And go the other direction. And come back into the center. Push down through your right hand. And reach your left hand towards the back wall. Swim it all the way forward and then let it land, drop back into child's pose. And we've really created a world for ourselves that feels urgent and like we're always looking to the next thing. We always have to be in the next moment. And so the slow flow really helps us to just slow our bodies down and starts to help us release some of that internalized sense of urgency that we now carry in our bodies, a lot of us. And so just notice what you feel in this moment. Try not to be looking to the next one. We'll get there soon enough. And as you're ready, we'll take this into the rolling panda on the other side. So draw your right elbow towards your right knee. And then thread the top of your hand underneath your chest. And you'll bring your right temple, your right cheek down onto the mat. And really try to just get heavy onto this right shoulder. Notice if the quality of the breath changed at all. Again, stay with those high quality breaths, moving all the way in and clearing all the way out. And as you're ready, push down through your left hand. Start to lift your hips, reach your right arm up towards the sky. Maybe twirl this wrist around. And stretch your right hand towards the back wall. Land your palm, fingers pointing to the back, tabletop. And feel out this wrist. If this is a lot, you can turn your fingers out to the right side. And just like we did on the other side, make those little circles. And go the other direction. And we'll start to land back into stillness at the center. And stretch your right hand towards the back. Swim it all the way forward, land back in child's pose. And just take a moment to let all of that cook. Let it simmer into your body. And from here, like a little snow angel, reach your arms around for your feet. And get a grip on your heels. And sometimes this practice really does just help us to get a better grip on ourselves so that we can have more control over how we show up in the world outside of our dedicated practice space. And so feel that good grip, good hold on your heels. And slowly lift up into rabbit pose. Coming onto the top of your head, your hips lift away from your heels. And feel the spaciousness around the band of your shoulders. Take a breath in. Open your mouth, sigh it out. Take your time, release your hips back down onto your heels. Then from here, come up to a seat on your shins. And start to walk your hands back behind you. You've got your bolster there, maybe. You could have the hands lifted up on the bolster. And we're going to open up through the fronts of the feet. So all of our foot mobility is very different. This might be enough just right here. If you do want a little bit more, you could play with lifting your knees up away from the mat. I always say this in classes, but if your face just did that scrunched up, like, ooh, face, that's your body telling you went just a little too far. So lower your knees down, maybe come back down to the mat and take a breath in. Exhale, slowly release the knees. Let your palms back in tabletop, and then tuck your toes, downward facing dog. And at least in my body, those two shapes go together like PB and J. So I hope this feels really nice on your feet and your ankles. And take a breath in. Big sigh. Slowly slide forward into plank. And then set your left knee down. Start to rock forward and back on your right foot. With this, sometimes I'll roll the right ankle around, so coming onto the top of the foot, the outer edge, to the inner edge. And take this slow. Lift your right leg up. Pull your knee towards your right tricep, right elbow, and step your foot outside of your hand. This is where we're going to invite our blocks in, if you have them. Tuck your back toes, lift up through your knee, and just start to sway yourself really gently into pyramid, maybe undulating into a low lunge. This is really just an opportunity for you to get a little free movement. Just feeling a little deeper into this body that you're in. Notice what it might be asking for from you, and then just do your best to give that. Eventually we'll meet, dropping the back knee down onto the mat and sliding the hips back into a half split. I like to stay lifted in the half splits on the blocks. It really just helps us to keep the heart space open rather than kind of rounding through the spine and closing off. And then here you've got options. So I always feel like as a yoga teacher, it's our job to give you a lot of options and then give you the space to explore so you find the one that works best for you. And so you might stay here just pulling your right toes forward, or maybe there's a little sway of the toes side to side. Maybe staying with the toes pulling towards your face and then pointing them away from you. Wherever you go, just keep your breath moving. Notice if the face is getting tight. Try to relax it. And gently push down through the bottom of your front foot. Walk your hands or your blocks forward past the front foot, and then lift your back knee up. Sweep your left leg up in space, come to standing splits. And try to let the top of your head be really heavy so there's no wrinkles behind your neck, no effort to hold your head up. And breathe in. Exhale, Shiva squat. Pull your left knee into the back of your right. And from here, just step your left foot to the outside edge of the right. Sometimes this kind of trips people up, but we just want it to kind of swoop back around to the outer edge of the right foot. So you're in a cross-legged forward fold. The right foot is forward. And then you can bend your knees. I would honestly suggest that. Let the top of your head, again, hang really heavy. And start to move your awareness into the sensation. And get really curious about it, right? What even is it? What does it feel like? Where is it? Where is it intense, and then where does it start to taper off? And slowly push down into your blocks or your fingers. Pull the crown of your head forward into a little halfway lift. Really, this shape just makes space for breath. So take another little breath in. Big exhale. Step your left foot over to its side of the mat, and then rise all the way up to stand. Reach your arms up overhead. Shrug your shoulders down into their sockets. And take a big breath. Exhale, pull your hands through your heart space. Maybe close your eyes and just trust your body to move. Release your hands down by your sides. Inhale, reach your arms out and up. Try to take up the space around you. And exhale, draw your hands back through your heart space. Just one more like that. Release your hands down by your sides. Inhale, reach out and up. Exhale, pull your hands down through your heart. Bend at your knees, hinge at your hips, forward fold. And at the bottom of your fold, toe heel your feet out a little bit wider. And just start to sway your upper half gently side to side. Anytime we're in a forward fold, we're inviting space back into our vertebral bodies, all through our spine and our neck. So often we're standing upright or sitting upright, and so we've got gravity pushing down on us. And so just let this decompression feel really good. And as you're ready, come back into the center. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plank pose. Step one foot back at a time, nice and slow. Reconnect with your finger pads. Feel that push down element. Notice what just happened to your shoulder blades. They kind of pull apart on your back. That's called protraction. And keep pulling your belly button up. Call your energy back into yourself. Breathe in. Exhale, drop your right knee down onto the mat. And from here, just start to sway forward and back, getting into your left ankle, left Achilles. If you like that little roll around, or you want to feel it on this side, you can find that here, rolling onto the top of the foot, the outer edge, the ball mound, the inner edge. We'll come back into stillness. Lift your left leg up. Just feel your muscles, right? They just activated to lift the left leg because our legs, again, are heavy. Start to pull your left knee towards your left tricep. Step your foot outside of your hand so it's a wider lunge. And then grab your blocks. Tuck your back toes, lift your knee. And from here, you get that same free movement. And so maybe it's a long version of pyramid pose. Maybe undulating into a little low lunge. And again, just trust there's no right way to do this. There's definitely no wrong way. And so this is just you feeling your body, getting into a deeper connection with it, really listening to what it's trying to tell you through this somatic felt experience. As you start to feel evened out, we'll drop the back knee down, shift hips back, half splits. If you've got the blocks, stay married to them. And then same thing here, feel this side out. You might flex the left toes towards your face and just stay in stillness. Maybe there's a little sway of your toes side to side. Maybe it's pointing and flexing forward and back. And if you're like me, you have a chronically tight jaw for no reason other than just being in this human experience. And so notice if your jaw is clenching. If it is, try to relax it. Wherever you are, take a big belly breath in. Big open mouth. Gently crawl forward. Drop the sole of the front foot down and then walk your blocks or your hands a little past your front foot. Tuck your back toes, lift your knee, and then reach that right leg up, standing splits. Let the top of your head get heavier. Breathe in. Exhale, Shiva squat. Pull your right knee into the back of your left. And from here, it's that cross-legged forward fold. So the right foot just swoops back to the outside edge of the left foot. So if you're looking at your legs, the left leg is closer to you. The right leg is behind. And let the top of your head get heavy. Always a good idea to bend your knees. I don't want kids, but I always tease in classes that if I did have kids, I would be the mom that's like, bend your knees. And just take one more cycle of breath. Big inhale. Clear it out. Push down into your hands or your blocks. Inhale, halfway lift. Lengthen the crown of your head forward. Step your right foot over to its side of the mat, so you're just standing in a neutral fold. Then push down through your feet as you rise all the way up to stand. Reach your arms high. Shrug your shoulders down into their sockets. Get them away from your ears. But reach your fingertips up just a little higher. Take a big breath in. Exhale, draw your hands through your heart. Maybe close your eyes. Just one more time like that. Release your hands down by your sides. Inhale, reach your arms out and up. Exhale, hands come through heart, forward fold. Little change here. Bring your hands to a clasp at your low spine. If this is not working on your shoulders, I just want you to honor that. It's totally okay. If it's a lot on your shoulders, you might want to explore hooking just your thumbs. That's a little bit more gentle. But if it's not working, just let this go. And then wherever you are, gently shake your head side to side, like you're shaking no. Release your hands down. Move your blocks off to the side if you have them. And then plant your palms, step back, plank pose. One final time with this shape, push down through your finger pads. Feel your upper half push away from the mat. Notice the strength of your legs, strength of the belly. Breathe in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Keep a little bend through your knees as you shift your hips up. And from here, just pull your right knee towards your right wrist. And then parallel-ish through your front shin, we'll set up for pigeon pose. And friends, if this shape is a lot for you, you can always take it in a figure 4. So that would look like this. You're on your back, the right ankle crosses over the left. Maybe there's an interlace of your hands behind your left thigh. But if you are staying in the pigeon, look over your right shoulder. Just feel how that kind of slides your left hip forward. So your hips find this really nice alignment for themselves. And then you're welcome to stay lifted, or you might take your blocks, I'm a big block girl, and provide a little scaffolding for your upper half. And you can totally play with how this gets set up. For me, I like a block on the medium setting the long way, and that kind of supports the chest. And then another block underneath the forehead. And if you have space in between your blocks, you can just rest your hands there. If you're in the pigeon pose and your right hip is really high, you could slide a block or a bolster underneath that. And again, just in the spirit of options, if you wanted another twist, we can invite kind of that little rolling panda variation into this shape. So if you want to play with that, the left hand will thread underneath your chest. Bring your left temple, your left cheek down. And then I like to let my right arm rest on top of my right thigh. So it's kind of like a little self-adjustment. When I do give this adjustment to students, I'm pushing down through the right thigh. And so you kind of get to experience that for yourself. And you start to notice, where could you soften? And this is a shape, at least in my body, I love it. I could be in it all day. So you stay with it as long as you want. But if you are ready to start coming out, just come back up to your palms. And then roll onto your right hip. Sweep your left leg out to your left side. And if you're on your back, you're just going to meet us up in a seat. Same thing, left leg sweeps out. We'll find a little twist. So bring your left hand over to your right knee. Right hand comes behind you. Use that right hand like a little kickstand. So push it down, lift up through the top of your head. If it's okay on your neck, look over your right shoulder. And keep your body like this. Just turn your gaze forward and then gaze over your left shoulder. And again, if any of this doesn't feel good on your neck, modified, take care of yourself. And that right hand is the one behind you. Reach it up and overhead. Stretch it like a rainbow towards your left toes. With this variation, I like to thread my left hand a little higher up into my right hip crease and push it down as I reach over towards my left toes. So it kind of helps to let that right hip stay anchored. And you can prioritize opening up a lot of space through the right side body. Take your time, drop your right hand back behind you, lift your left arm up. You're welcome to stay just like this, on a little arch through your spine. If you like it, push up into stargazer pose, lifting your hips, resting on your right shin. Wherever you are, take a breath in. Big exhale. Stargazers, take your time, come back down. To get into this other side, it's really up to you. I like to go the path of least resistance. I feel like I'm forever in my soft girl era. So I'm just going to sweep my left leg forward and then roll off onto my left hip and sweep the right leg back. Again, if you like this from your back, take that variation. If you are staying in your pigeon, give it the same careful setup. So look over your left shoulder. Feel your right hip kind of slide forward. JD, come here. JD, come here. I want Jade knocking over my very carefully placed phone stand. And from here, you could stay lifted. You could lower down onto your blocks. Maybe you pad your left hip with a block or a pillow. And these moments of stillness and slowing the body down give us a really good opportunity to just experience in our bodies the link between our mind and body. So it's that psychosomatic connection. And as you're resting here, if you notice your mind starting to wander, often our minds are predisposed to focus on the negative things. That kind of sucks, but from an evolutionary perspective, it did keep us safe. But we're running really old brain software in a very modern world. And so that same response is not really as necessary, but that is still how we're wired. And so as you might notice, some thoughts coming in that cause worry or anxiety, your body will likely tense up, right? The body and the mind are connected. But the good news is we have a little bit of control over this. And so you can choose a different thought. You can choose to focus your attention on your breath, in turn telling the body that it's safe. It can soften, it can relax. If you like that threaded variation, you're welcome to invite it in on this side. So it would be the right arm threading underneath. The left arm may be resting on top of the left thigh, just adding some gentle pressure and weight. You're welcome to stay here for as long as you want. If you are ready to start coming out of this, just gently make your way back up to your palms. If you're on your back, roll up to a seat. And we'll meet together with the right leg extended out. And same thing, right hand comes over to the left knee, left hand comes behind us for that spinal twist. Notice if your right glute and sits bone just lifted. And try to keep both really anchored. From that grounded place, you lift up through the top of your head. If it's okay on your neck, gaze forward. Maybe look over your right shoulder. Your left hand is the one behind you. Reach it up and overhead like a big rainbow towards your right toes. If you liked it on the other side or you want to feel it here, slide your right hand into your left hip crease and push it down. And then notice if you stopped breathing. Keep your breath moving nice and slow. Release your left hand back behind you. Lift your right arm up. Option to stay like this, maybe arching through your spine or pushing up into stargazer pose. Stargazers, open up your heart. Let your throat open, your head falls back. And with the exhale, gently come back down. From here, we'll bring the soles of the feet together to touch in front of us, so we're making a little diamond shape. If you want more sensation, your heels will be closer to you. If you want this a little more gentle, that's usually my preference, let the heels be a little bit further away, and then rest your hands on top of your ankles. It's a really good one to close your eyes. Slowly begin to flutter your knees up and down. This movement practice helps us to metabolize our experiences. And sometimes things just really have to be processed and moved through the body. We can do our best to intellectualize them, but sometimes that just doesn't cut it. And so here, I like to imagine anything that came up to the surface, anything ready to be released, just gently being fluttered off. And in Reiki, we often offer the excess energy or whatever is being released back into some earthly element. I'm just trusting that the earth is the great transmuter. She can handle it. And so you might just imagine whatever is falling off gently being given down into the earth beneath you. And take your time coming into stillness. Again, blocks, we love them. If you have them, bring them in. And then scoot yourself back so you're really central in your mat. If you have a pillow or a bolster, we're going to bring it the long way or right up against your seat. And then just start to slowly recline yourself down so more of your heart space is lifted. The blocks can slide underneath your thighs. And bring your hands to connect on your body. I really like one hand at heart, one hand at belly. And just for a moment, notice anything that is present with you in this exact moment. And that really is our yoga practice, is just noticing what's here from moment to moment, doing our best not to attach any additional layers of judgment. Often we don't like something, we push away from it. When we really like something, we want to attach and hold on to it. So our practice just kind of helps us to be more in the flow with life. And you might hear sounds. You might be noticing thoughts or sensations internally. And if this shape is your jam and it feels really good, just stay here. We do have a little finishing series if you want it. And this would really only be if you have a block. If your legs are supported with the blocks and you want this little extra, release the blocks. And then plant the soles of your feet down onto your mat. And from here, start to lift your hips up. You're going to slide your block underneath your low spine, flush with your bolster. You could go the lowest setting Sometimes with this, I like to go the medium setting, so just feel it out. You're coming into bridge pose. You can keep your arms down by your sides. Personally, I like to reach mine up overhead and just let them rest on the mat behind me. And you can stay here or extend your legs forward. Now, sometimes we come into this extended variation and the low back can be a little tender. So if that's the case, just take good care of yourself and walk your feet back. If you do have your legs extended forward, just take one last breath with that shape. And gently start to walk your legs back up. And keep your arms lifted or lower them down, depending on how your shoulders are feeling. And then we'll lift both legs straight up into the air, coming into supported waterfall pose. And this is truly one of my most favoritist shapes. The shape I feel like is where we can really receive the transmission of this practice. I'm just noticing how these shapes can shift how we feel in our bodies, in our minds, and our spirit. And whatever shape you're in right now, really feel your eyes getting heavier into their sockets. And imagine your eyebrows melting apart from one another on your forehead. Notice any sensation you're getting in your legs right now. You might be able to feel your blood flowing in your calf muscles, your ankles. And take your time. Bend your knees, set the soles of your feet back down. If you have that block underneath you, lift your hips up just enough to slide it out, and then lower your spine all the way back down. So we're going to end in the same shape that we started in, a little supported Shavasana. If you have the props, if not, it's all good. Shavasana. And just take a moment to get yourself set up in whatever version you like for your final rest. The yoga philosophy teaches us that the movement practice, the breath practice, really just helping us to prepare our bodies for our stillness practice. Anytime the mind wanders, you're resourced with the tools of noticing and then coming back. Really allowing for this to be a complete practice of presence. Friends, the beautiful thing about the home practice is that you get to stay in Shavasana for as long as you want. If you do feel ready to move out of this shape, just gently remove the blocks from underneath your knees. Then bring the soles of your feet down onto your mat. Walk your feet out really wide, let your knees knock in towards one another, and invite a little sway side to side with your knees. And let this be nice and slow. Sometimes our bodies have a natural inclination to want to move faster. So again, we're just teaching the body it's safe to go a little slower. And eventually roll onto either side, whichever one feels the most supportive, the most intuitive, and coming into a fetal pose. And we'll gently press our way back up to a comfortable seat. And you're welcome to elevate your seat up on your pillow or your block. Gather your hands together at your heart space. Let your eyes close down or soften. We'll just take this final moment before the world comes back into our awareness to intentionally relax our bodies. Feel your sits bones get heavier down into the mat. Round out through your belly. Drag your shoulders down into their sockets. And completely relax through your muscles in your face. Your jaw, the space between your eyebrows. Always we seal our practice with this shape, the Anjali Mudra, really just as a way to say thank you, giving gratitude to the practice, the people, the deep roots. And really it's here we as practitioners get to take our little vow to do our very best to embody this practice, to carry it with us out into the world where we really need it. And with that in your heart, pull your thumbs up to your third eye, space right between your eyebrows, and take a breath in. And exhale, we bow. Amazing work, everybody. You made it to the end. Thank you so much. I'm truly honored to be able to share these practices with you. I hope that you feel better than however you started. And little Miss Jade has taken up residence on my book, but I wanted to share a passage from one of my favorite authors and teachers, Cleo Wade. I actually just got to meet her in person. It was very cool. But this is from her book, In a World of Sunrises. And this is day 86. And she says, allow yourself to be delighted by life's simple pleasures, watching the sun rise and set, savoring the first sip of your morning coffee, witnessing the world go by on a park bench, picking a flower, enjoying a friend's laugh, getting lost in a good book. These small, easy moments feed our well-being and connect us to gratitude. I hope that this could be a little simple pleasure today. As always, take good care, friends. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. And I look forward to seeing you for the next one. Peace.